savages. MONEYMANE and the thing of a T and playing no games. Should I already know my name when I speak in CC Flame. Got my YouTube poppin', man. Like, subscribe and everything in between. You already know MONEYMANE. MONEYMANE. You already know my
What's going on, my savages? Welcome back to Dirty Bird Savages with MONEYMANE. You already know. I'm telling you right now, man. The Falcons got a big decision to make about Drake London. To pay Drake or not to pay Drake. And I'm going to know y'all going to probably get at me in the comments, but I don't care. I say don't pay Drake London. And me personally, I don't think he's that good. Yeah, all that money. Now we're going to take a look at what the potential contract could be. Now, right now, the going rate or right now, the projected contract from Sports Track for Drake London is 4 years, $130 million. That's $32.7 million a year annual salary. I don't think the Falcons need to do this at all. I know he's been playing good. He had that season over 1,000-yard receiving, and you know he been up there close to hitting 1,000 right underneath it. And with the unsteady quarterback play that the Falcons done had, but at the same time, man, like I just told y'all, I think they need to pay that money to Bijan Robinson. The players he get compared to, St. Brown, A.J. Brown, DK, and Garrett Wilson, he right on par with their contracts. What they projecting right here, as you can see, what number they got, 120, 132, 130 million. A.J. Brown got 96 million. He the lowest on this right here, but the annual salaries is right there. If Drake London get this contract, he will probably be one of the highest paid for his annual salary receivers in the league. And I don't think the Falcons need to pay that, but I don't know what the new GM Ian Cunningham is thinking. Now, right here, the comparison, as you can see, he got 85% games played, 77% snaps, 77% of the snaps. He get about 9 targets a game with almost 6 receptions a game with 75 yards, 76 yards, and less than a half a touchdown and 19 yards, 20 yards of yak, and he's rating at 87.9%. Now, if you compare that yak with the other receivers, he the lowest one over there, but he do have a higher rating than DK Metcalf and Garrett Wilson. But we already know their situation for Garrett Wilson. He ain't never had no quarterback since he been out there in New York, and DK just got traded, and he really ain't have no good quarterback in Geno Smith and our old Aaron Rodgers. So, you know, you can compare however you want to compare. Now, with this new coaching staff coming in to the Atlanta Falcons, Kevin Stefanski, Tom Reeves, and whoever else he done brought in, the receiver, I wouldn't say is the main go-to because they focus more on the run game, which I said I would pay Bijan, and is built off the play action. So the pay Drake London at $130 million, I don't see it, especially with the coaching staff and this offense they about to run. I would rather pay that money, not the whole $130 million, but allocate some of that money to pay Kyle Pitts to bring him back, because that's another important piece in Kevin Stefanski's offense is the tight end. That's probably more important is the tight end than the receiver position. Now, with that being said, I don't know exactly if Kevin gonna bring the same offense or what they gonna tweak or what they gonna change based off this roster, because like I told y'all before, they got a 10 times better roster in Atlanta than they did in Cleveland. No matter what year you want to say, when he won Coach of the Year in 2020, and definitely when he won Coach of the Year in 2023, I think this roster, the way it's built for the offensive side, is a little bit better just because you so heavy, top heavy with Bijan Robinson, and he can do a lot of multiple things. But you know what I'm saying? Paying Drake London, they're going to take away from paying Bijan in the future too. So like we about to take a look at this video and what player you want to franchise tag to where you're going to have to pay them later anyway. I don't think the Falcons need to shell out all that money to Drake London, but the franchise tag him, you still gonna have to pay top tier. But at the same time, I'm thinking about Bijan.
Drake was a 13.5. Was right where you want to be. 7 touchdowns on 68 catches.
So
in
that's
that
one
ballpark.
every 10.
No question about it.
And he missed a couple of games this year.
That's very true. That's very true. That was through 12 games.
Right. So you extrapolate that out, you're probably talking 80 catches, another 1,200-yard season.
We have to pay a receiver $35 million.
That's the going rate. Do you want to pay it? Probably not. Do you want to let him walk? If you franchise tag him, you're talking about the value of the top 5 highest paid receivers. You're going to be giving them $35 million.
And then how does that affect in a couple years when you got to pay Bijan?
Yep.
Are you going to have all that money allocated to a wide receiver and a running back? And then quarterback's always going to be a high paid thing too.
Franchise tag has to come into play here for somebody.
So you give him 16 this year and then franchise tag him next year. I think I play the franchise tag game with Bijan.
Yeah.
Because running back doesn't make as much money. And then if you have to go ahead and you franchise tag him even the second year, then you've got Bijan Robinson locked in for 7 years. And at 7 years, you're probably looking to replace running back anyway. Receiver, you keep around for a long time.
Yeah, normally you do. That's probably right. He'll play here for a decade if you take care of him. I just have a tough time with these numbers, and I know it's a going rate, and I got to kind of come to grips with it. But geez Louise.
Jamar Chase got 4 years and $161 million. Justin Jefferson, 4 for $140. Look, Drake London is not those guys. He's not CeeDee Lamb, but he's not far from it.
Drake was a 13.5. Was right where you want.
He's not those guys, and I wouldn't pay him like those guys, but I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going to do. They got a lot of decisions to make, and this one of the big ones, but they don't have to make the decision like right at this moment. That's probably the good thing that the Falcons going to wait because they do got this 1 year club option that they done got with Drake London, so they're going to give him time to negotiate the contract, but at the same time, they might wait to see how the season go and running with this Kevin offense to see what the production look like. But I wouldn't pay him. But my other scenario that y'all gonna hate me for is trade Drake London right now before the draft. It got to be before the draft. And why you say that, Money Man? And why you say trade him, Money Man? Because right now the Falcons might be hesitating, like I said, to wait to see what happens during the season. But this could play a part of it too. The cap considerations, extending the young star wide out is expensive, and the Falcons are juggling other roster and cap priorities. Some decisions among fans and analysts focus on how to structure the deal so it doesn't hamstring Atlanta's salary cap in the upcoming years. Injury history, caution, London has had some injury setbacks, which can make teams a bit cautious about long-term guarantees, though that isn't usually a deal breaker for a proven talent. Now, with their injury history that he got, you know, he not prone to finish a season too much, and he only getting older. I think the Falcons need to trade him and get a first-round pick. Not just a first-round pick, but a first-round pick right now. They could do something like an A.J. Brown to the Eagles trade or Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins territory right there. As you can see, the floor value would be a first-round pick plus a starter. Likely value would be a first-round pick plus a second and third plus a young player, and the ceiling would be multiple high picks. Now, I think the most likely would be a first-round pick and maybe even a second if the Falcons throw in one of their picks to send the Drake London to whoever team that might need a number one receiver or a young receiver that they could contend with, you know what I'm saying? But I think the Falcons need to trade them just so they can get themselves out the situation of paying Drake London and trying to pay Bijan and potentially Michael Penix if he's still the quarterback at the later on. Now, I know it might sound far-fetched and way out there, and the Falcons, they might not do it at all. They might actually just pay Drake London, or they might franchise tag him or whatever they might do, you know what I'm saying? But me, I think they need to trade him so they can get some draft capital for this year, and if not this year, next year. But mainly, they probably jump back to get back that first-round pick, and then you get out of a situation where you got to pay a receiver that's, in my opinion, mediocre, but he's not a high tier wide receiver one. He barely over to be a wide receiver one and potentially gonna digress to a receiver two quickly, in my opinion, not living up to Julio Jones, Roddy White, or not even Michael Jenkins. I dare say Muhammad Sanu was better. You know what I'm saying? But it's just me. But I would prioritize the offensive line, getting the tight end, and probably even signing another tight end, because Kevin like to run 2 tight end sets a lot and close formations and all that, and building this team not around the quarterback, but more around Bijan and this run game. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's gonna be the driving catalyst for this team. Now, with that being said, like I told you, the Falcons are gonna do whatever they want to do, man. But this is just my opinion. This is what I think. And the Falcons, to jump back in that first round, this might be a good trade asset at this moment and this point. But don't know what the new GM gonna do. Don't know what Matt Ryan telling them and what Arthur Blank thinking. Even though he trying to get more hands off, and really don't know what Kevin thinking, man. Cause I still got the question mark out on him. He gonna have to show me more than he tell me, cause I done heard a lot of lies. But it is what it is, man. Like I told y'all, subscribe and share and tell your friend about the Dirty Bird Savage. We keeping up with the Falcons all year long right here with Money Man. You already know, man. And don't forget, go subscribe to the main channel, Money Man. You already know we doing big things over there. Follow me on the ticker down there on everything that you see. And if your pocket feeling heavy, the Cash App down there too. You know what I'm saying? I ain't turning down no money, no time, any way. But it is what it is.
My savages. Money man in the thing of a T and playing no games. Should I already know my name when I speak NCC flame. Got my YouTube popping, man. Like, subscribing, everything in between. You already know. Money man. You all